Forgotten Sunrise, Chapter 3, Guest Room. When they got Sunset's things loaded in what little room remained on the Scouticus Maximus, the sun had dipped below the horizon, and the only light surrounding the vehicle was provided by the beacons of light on the top. When they got back in the cab, they saw that while they were in the castle, Hitch and Izzy had gotten the sleeping bags laid out for the last part of the journey south. At this point, Sunset realized that she had not slept since the night before graduation.
I know you probably have so many questions for me, but I think I'd like to lay down for a bit, if that's okay.
Sunset told Sunny, unbuckling herself from her seat once they were clear of the forest and river, and onto more smoother rolling hills as they turned towards the southwest.
There's absolutely no rush. I've got a guest room at my place, and we'll get you situated. And you can take all the time you need,
Sunny immediately replied. With a tired smile, Sunset dropped from her seat down onto the closest sleeping bag. After making sure Ray was warm and content in the right pocket of her saddlebags, she laid her head down, and was out just moments after her head hit the pillow. Seeing the unicorn sleeping soundly so quickly just got the others yawning as well. So they stopped for a moment to let Sprout give the driver's seat over to Hitch, and Pip and Zip came in from the bed, making it rather crowded in the cab, but every pony soon got situated, with Zip and Pip on both side benches, Sprout on the back bench, and Izzy and Sunny just in front of him, as the vehicle continued driving into the night. Sunset slowly woke up as she felt a hoof gently tapping her shoulder. She opened her eyes, and her vision cleared to show Sunny smiling gently down at her.
We've arrived at Maretime Bay. I can show you to the guest room of my house if you feel you haven't gotten enough sleep. But we do have a walk ahead of us,
the Earth Pony told her. Sunset nodded with a smile as she got out of the sleeping bag. She and Sunny were the only ones left in the cab, other than Hitch, who looked like he was getting ready to pull the vehicle into some kind of underground garage. He turned to the two mares as they disembarked. I'll get this thing parked and turn in myself. We can unload after a nice rest and a good breakfast, he told them.
Sounds good, Hitch. See you in the morning,
Sunny replied with a smile. Once they were clear of the vehicle, Hitch put it into gear and began moving it down a ramp. Sunset noticed that they had already offloaded her personal items into a small cart, which Sunny promptly hitched herself to.
Alright, Sunset, right this way. Welcome to Maretime Bay.
They were in the rear parking lot of a large factory, and Sunset began going down a walk that went around the right side. The walkway was adequately lit with lamp posts and security lighting, and it wasn't until they had come around to the front of the factory and down into the city streets proper that it got a little darker, and she noticed the starry night sky.
What time is it?
Sunset asked with a yawn.
1 a.m.
Sunny answered.
Kinda hoping we get back to sleep once we get to my place. Otherwise, getting through the entirety of tomorrow is going to be a chore. And just to be clear, please don't feel obligated to come along if you're not feeling up to it. This must be so much to take in, so if you want to just spend the next few days relaxing at my place, or take in the city sights, please feel free. Thanks. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. I honestly still feel out of place. Not sure what I should do next. Maybe some relaxing would do me good, and if it doesn't, I'm sure you'll have plenty for me to help out with. Like you said, I'm sure there's a lot that we can learn from each other,
Sunset told her. Sunny saw Ray poke his head out of Sunset's saddlebag.
And if you feel like he'll need an enclosure, we can also swing by the pet shop when they open in the morning.
Maretime Bay was a nice enough looking place. The streets were sparsely populated this late at night, so it was no trouble at all getting the cart down to the southwest corner of town, where the streets turned to a dirt path, as the relatively flat cityscape gave way to rolling hills. As the sounds of waves crashing against the rocks below grew, a lighthouse came into view. Sunny unhitched herself from the cart where they came to the front walk, and Sunset let up her horn and levitated all of her stuff out of it as they approached the front door. Sunny slid her key into the lock and pushed the door open. Stepping to the side to let Sunset in, she shut the door, making sure the picture of her and her dad remained straight. The fact that it did so was probably one of her favorite improvements of the rebuild.
Homie,
Sunset complimented.
Alright, kitchen is over there. That lift right there will take you up to the light deck, and down this hall are the bedrooms and bathroom.
Sunny began, before taking her down the hall.
My bedroom is here on the left. Let me know if you need anything. Bathroom is the second door on the left, and here we are.
Sunny opened the second door on the right, stepping into a clean and furnished bedroom. There was a full-sized bed, ceiling light, nightstand with a bedside lamp and alarm clock, a small desk, full-length mirror, and a small closet.
Have a good remainder of your night, Sunset. I'll see you in the morning. Thank you, Sunny. I'll find a way to repay you for this, promise.
Sunset replied, setting her chest, guitar case, and saddlebags at the foot of the bed, before letting Ray down onto the blanket.
Whatever you'll be able to tell me about ancient Equestria will be payment enough. You don't know how much I'm looking forward to your insight.
With that, Sunny stepped back out into the hall and shut the door, leaving the unicorn alone with her thoughts. She sat down on the bed before taking a deep breath. The muffled sound of the waves would be more than enough to lull her back to sleep for a few hours. But her mind was still racing. She leaned over the front of the mattress and opened the right flap of her saddlebags, taking out her barely used magic journal. Flipping to the last written page, confirming disappointingly that the last correspondence was with Princess Twilight shortly before graduation. She then got up off the bed and unlatched the case, opening the lid and pulling out the 3 new magical journals that she had been surprised with on graduation night. She opened the covers of all 3, and her heart sank a little when each of the front pages were blank. She took another deep breath before levitating the top journal over to the bed, followed by a pen from her saddlebags before settling herself down in front of it, and touched the tip to the top corner of the first page.
Dear friends, it worries me to no end that none of you may see this, or that if you do, you may be unable to respond. I have arrived safely back in Equestria, although it was nowhere near where, or even when I expected to arrive. I have no idea what went wrong, but I seem to have jumped hundreds of years or more into Equestria's future. My mind is absolutely overwhelmed with unanswered questions, and the entire world around me has changed exponentially. But if there is the slightest chance of contacting all of you, I just wanted to let you know that I'm alright. I'm going to be taking things one day, or heck, maybe even 1 hour at a time. I have already been taken in and befriended by some ponies who can hopefully help in giving me an idea of what has transpired. Your friend always, Sunset Shimmer.
Could you imagine if she actually got a response back? That is a possibility, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Anywho, let's get on to our strong donators. Top donators: Cat-gjf, Zar630, J Tinman, Only One Thing, Ceru, Orion, and IronSky. Darkside, Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel Skies, Austin, Rolan, Stu-Hex, Sir Brother, Mordred, Omicron, Lyrae, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Ridesoul, Badass Waffle, Shadow Moon, Luigi88, Chancellor Crust, Big Smoke 369, and many more beautiful people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.